Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Fear Effect on the PlayStation 5. So dear viewers, this game originally released all the way back in 2000, a year I remember fondly as the year I played a hell of a lot of video games. And I put out a lot of traps to catch that pesky millennium bug. Never did catch the bastard. But anyway, you're probably wondering, dear viewers, OCG, you oh so talented chap, you, who spends far too much of his time watching hentai, just what the hell is this game? And I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. And don't knock hentai until you try it. Fear Effect is classified as an action-adventure video game, but I would say that this game has more in common with survival horror titles, like the original Resident Evil games, albeit with a lot more gunplay, human enemies, lesbian protagonists. Oh yes, the main character in this game, Hannah, though it's not actually confirmed until the sequel, or should I say prequel, is actually a lesbian. Now you might think that my adoration for this game is simply because Hannah is one of those marvelous creatures, but I would never be so shallow to enjoy a video game because of one sexual orientation. Let's not forget she has big boobs too, so that's another reason I really like this game. And that arse? Oh my! Yes, Bertrum, I'm getting on with it. The basic premise of the game is it takes place in the year 2050, so actually not too long from now. We play as one of 3 mercenaries who are trying to kidnap and or ransom a girl or some such nonsense. Though I played this game probably about 50 times, I've never really caught on to what the story is. Too busy paying attention to Hannah. So like I said, you get to play as all 3 of these mercenary characters at one point or another. We have Hannah, of course, Deke, and finally Glass. You'll make your way through areas, trying to figure out how to progress, shooting enemies. These will come in 2 forms, the human enemies like I said, and a little bit later on you maybe, sort of, kind of, run into what I have affectionately called monster bastards. You will also fight against boss fights, and let me just say, the boss fights in the original Resident Evil are absolute child's play compared to this game. Child's play. Most of the bastards are armed heavier than your average Texan gentleman. You'll fight against a bloody helicopter, bastard who looks like Will Smith out of Men in Black. If Will Smith had a giant 6-pack. Haha, ooh, that rhymes. Of course, you'll fight boss versions of the monster bastards I mentioned earlier. And depending on what ending you get, that's right, this game has 3. That's correct, 3 different endings. You'll fight a unique final boss specific to that ending. And sad to say, dear viewers, though I've been talking about how difficult the boss fights are, if you wish to obtain the true ending, you're going to have to finish this bloody game on hard. That's right, hard. But don't let the difficulty put you off, dear viewers. This, back in 2000, was an absolutely fantastic game. Some might call it revolutionary, with its very cinematic presentation and unique visuals, all those cel-shaded graphics and full-motion video backgrounds. Absolutely splendid. And while I'm still lamenting the loss of the Fear Effect remake that we probably would have got by now, rest in peace, Fear Effect remake. I'm just happy to be able to play this on my beloved PlayStation 5 at all. What else can I tell you about the game? Well, like other survival horror titles, you will also occasionally run into puzzles. That's right, puzzles. Because we all love puzzles in our video games. Actually, we don't. We really don't. We could do without puzzles, but, you know, that's a discussion for a different day. Anyway, if you want to relieve yourself of some of the game's difficulty and or bypass those puzzles altogether, you'll be glad to hear that the cheat codes that worked in the PlayStation 1 original work here on the PlayStation 5. But as a consequence of using cheat codes, you will not be able to unlock most of the game's trophies. So if you're a trophy hunter like I am, you will have to play this game 100% legitimately. And while yes, some of the boss fights are still frustrating, once you figure out what to do, they're not too problematic. And this being a remaster of sorts, there are save states and a rewind function, something we did not have in the PlayStation 1 original. Who says that remasters are a bad thing? Ha! So take my word for it, dear viewers. Fear Effect has a fantastic story, great writing, wonderful graphics, for the time I admit. Still look good now though. If you're accustomed to games like the original Resident Evil or the original Resident Evil 2, then I think you will get on with this game like a house on fire. And don't worry, dear viewers, there's no children in the house when it's on fire. So you can rest easy knowing that. I love this game, therefore, I have no hesitation in saying that Fear Effect on the PlayStation 5 is splendid. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another review by yours truly. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.